Welcome to the Hellmouth. Hope everybody's 5x5. This is Major Slayage, Ket Arik, Rewatch, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My name is Eric, and to my right, your left, my brilliant, hilarious, gorgeous, amazing, talented wife and co-host. You know her as half the powerhouse duo that is Kim and Ket. Stay alive, baby. Give it up for Ketrin Porter.
You're sweet. Do you know that?
I tell me more.
Well, I mostly tell you how irritating you are, and I feel like I should tell you how sweet you are more often.
Oh, well, I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't do it for praise, clearly, because this has not been paying dividends. But hi, welcome. Yeah, we're here to talk about the penultimate episode of Season 3, Buffy Season 3, Episode 21, Graduation Day, Part 1. A lot of numbers in there. I was told there'd be no math.
Yeah, there was a lot. But you did great.
We are nearly done with the third season. We've been doing the show just over a year, but we're already...
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
We're going to be... we're almost halfway through the whole effing...
Well, yeah, 4 months from now, we'll be halfway through the entire series.
That's what I said. Almost halfway through.
Almost.
God, marital grievance. I came in, I was like, I don't have a marital grievance. And Erica's like, hold my beer.
Actually, no, what happened was, we'll get to it right now. My marital grievance is right before we started recording. And I'm so busy right now. I've gone back to work on Drag Race. I'm doing this show. I'm doing Kim and Ket. We've got another job, another video job that I'm working. And I'm just like trying to keep my head above water and stay ahead of all of the edits and everything. And she's like, hey, you should do a marital grievance for this episode, because I usually bring one up. It'd be fun for you to bring one up. It's like, I did not prepare one.
Well, and also,
I do not like being put on the spot.
You make it look like, oh, I don't have any grievances. Ketrin's just the asshole with grievances. And you do have grievances.
Or is that my diabolical
plan?
That's
exactly what you're doing. That's why I said you should probably have a marital grievance.
Well, so there it was. You created one. It's being put on the spot and told I have to be unhappy in my marriage for the sake of clicks and views. Yeah, no, I came in with an anti-marital grievance. You shot your first day on a new acting job, and it's a small part. The show, we'll tell you once we know when it's going to air and stuff. We'll tell you all about it. But she got cast in a thing, and she's going to shoot 2 more days on it coming up. And I just want to tell you how proud I am of you, that this actor life is not a straight line. It is a zig and a zag, and there's lots of waiting, and there's lots of expecting. And I think that we've, been through this together a lot, and you've never lost your hunger to perform. You've never said, you know what, this business is annoying. You have said that, but not so much so that you want to bail on it. And I just know how happy you were when you got home from set the other day. And I'm just so proud of you for just sticking with it. Just going, you know what? It's not every day that I get to work, but I'm going to hang in there for the days I do get to work. And you would have missed out on that amazing opportunity if you had given up at any point. And I think that's really cool and really admirable. And I think you're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we will definitely let everyone know where you can check her out when we get the information. She's signed an NDA. We can't talk about it right now, but
and it's a teeny tiny part, guys. It's teeny tiny.
You know what? You get to tune in and watch Ketrin. I think that's fucking cool. I'll never not think that's cool. Did you bring a spell this week?
I brought an anti-spell.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I've said this before, but I feel that it always bears repeating, especially since I don't even think I've told you this. I'm sort of in the preliminary the beginning of the process of maybe looking for an herbology or herbalism course at Oxford that I can take online.
You've mentioned that on the show. Yeah.
Yes. And as we see in this episode, Angel is poisoned by something. Now, he is a magical being, so I do not have an issue with them attempting to heal a magical being with magical resources. That's fine. But I do feel that it is important for me to reiterate that even if I make recommendations for tinctures, teas, decoctions, potions, if I talk to you about herbs that have beneficial or benefits to them, or have, been they sorry, I'm buffering. They have medicinal
uses.
I want it to be clear that if you as a human person get poisoned in some way by a poison arrow or a snake or by a wife that you have not been very nice to, you need to seek a doctor. You need to go to Dr. Robbie at the pit, right? Like, don't be like, oh, I have cancer, I'm going to eat some rosemary. I just want to be like very clear.
The stuff you practice
yes.
enhances and supplements. It doesn't take the place of good old-fashioned medical science.
Correct.
Or good new-fashioned medical science,
now,
as it were.
Yes. Now, that's not to say that I don't think that that herbs and herbalism can assist, but there are certain we have evolved beyond, rubbing poultices on infected gangrenous wounds. Like, please seek a medical doctor. I just would like to be clear about that. So if you're poisoned, don't look for a spell. Go to the ER. The end.
And then while you're waiting in the ER, Google some spells that you can do in addition to whatever your doctor recommends.
There you go.
That's cool. So yeah, been at this a year. It's really cool. We've cultivated a little community here, but we're still trying to grow. We still want to hit some benchmarks in terms of the size of our audience and things, because it enables us to do more stuff on YouTube that will make it more fun and interactive for you guys, and helps us out, and maybe a chance to earn a little ad revenue to keep the machine moving over here. What you can do to help costs you nothing. Click that like. Just go right now. Just go right down there. I forget where it is, but it's down here. Looks like a little thumbs up. Click that.
They got it.
Little thing says subscribe. Click that as well. And there's like a little bell. Click that. If something's clickable, click it. Also, go up there, copy the URL to this, and text it to someone right now that you think would get a kick out of this.
No, text it to 5 people right now.
You know what? Let's start small. Let's start
3.
small.
Okay.
If you pass
negotiation, he said 1, I said 5, 3.
Pass it on to anybody. Just share this with someone that you think would get a kick out of it. Better than having your friends over and watching it together. Frankly, we only get credit for one stream if you do that.
Yeah.
Send it around. If you're listening on a podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and write a little comment or review. Everyone's a little bit different. I think on Spotify you can leave comments on specific episodes. Apple Podcasts, you can still just leave a review for the show in general. Just something like that. Take 20 seconds. We'll wait. If you do have a couple bucks you want to spend, we have a Patreon. We watch every episode before we record these. We talk over it. You can watch along with us, listen to us ruin your show. It's really fun.
Mostly Eric ruining the show.
Yeah, she's dropping pearls of wisdom, and I'm just like kind of yammering. But it's kind of like this, really. You're used to it. So it's just another round of this. Sometimes you get to hear me test out jokes that will make it onto the show. I try them out there first and figure them out. We also do a mini-sode called Trivia Crypt, where we do a baby deep dive into every episode, starting with season 2, behind-the-scenes fun facts, little production things. We find old promos, cast interviews, weird things. A recent one we had, Nerf Herder played the Viper Room and did the Buffy theme live. We included a video of that in there. So it's just fun. It's just a little extra enhanced thing. That'll come out the week after the episode airs. Just $5 helps us out, helps us keep the lights on, feed our cats. And we also offer all the Ketron spells wind up on there. And for an additional $5, one-time purchase, you can have her do a personalized tarot read for you. You get to ask whatever questions you want. You can choose which deck she uses. You can choose the spread of the cards, and then she'll record a video pulling the cards and explaining them to you. And $5, you can't beat that. Like literally, it's like $60 to get your tarot cards read. $5. Yep. So check it out.
Cool. Ready
That's
to
it. You want to do the
this?
episode? Let's do it.
Season 3, episode 21, graduation day, part 1. Why is everyone in a winter sweater in the middle of summer in Southern California?
This is so true. Xander's in a big wool sweater.
Yeah.
Giles is in an even bigger, thicker sweater later.
Yeah. So it's actually like a little bit chilly today, which was kind of crazy. I went for a walk and I was like, brr. But like even this sleeveless sweater,
very cute, by the way,
but I can wear it maybe a half a day out of 365 in Southern California. It is very warm. So it's crazy to me that they dress all of these characters, and I'll talk about them, in woolen, like we're on our way to the wall in Game of Thrones. It's crazy.
Well,
me.
not everybody, because I feel like Anya's got some bare sleeves going.
That makes it even more insane.
Yeah, so like some people are dressed climate appropriate and other people are bundled up.
It's crazy. And it's also like
Buffy's in a wool pea coat at one point.
Yeah, it's also, maybe this is because I was just on set in a full polyester cop uniform.
Spoilers.
But like, it's not like it's cold on set either, you know? Like, it's extremely hot.
Oh, the lights and
on
everything.
set.
Yeah, and you're a bunch of people crowded around.
Yes.
Breathing.
So it's just particularly crazy, and I just don't understand it. And I feel like they only do it to bring out my ire.
Because we've seen Xander in a nice button-up short sleeve shirt before.
It's crazy.
Or a t-shirt.
It's crazy. It's crazy town. Okay, moving on. I've said it. I'll only say it maybe 4 or 5 more times as it comes up in the episode. Zordy is talking about teal versus maroon for their cap and gowns. Eric was surprised to learn that I did not wear a cap and gown. I wore a gown, but it was like a white, like we all wore like white wedding dresses, basically.
Okay, yeah, no, we had the traditional black, what do they call it, a mortarboard?
I don't know.
Motorboat.
A motorboat.
And black, like almost like a choir robe.
And I thought this was cute because like Zordy is bantering, but like it feels very like we're going to die soon and this is nostalgic and familiar to like riff on each other.
Well, it also felt like the kind of bickering they would do when they were together.
Yes.
Like they've
it's comforting.
Moved past probably most of the hurt and you know,
especially after Xander bought her that dress.
Yeah, I think that was a healing moment for them. And I feel like they could continue to be antagonistic friends moving forward.
Yeah. But Xander's freaking out. Xander's like, I've been lucky too many times.
That's true.
And I am pretty sure I'm going to die at graduation. Everyone is milling about the hall. It's very, you know, last week of school vibes, which I very much related to. And we see Warmony together.
Yeah, what was
Willow and Harmony. Now, I found this very relatable, like going around and like you have people sign your book and you have these like completely insane reactions to people that you spent 8 years hating, where you're just like, oh, but I'm going to miss how much you made me miserable every day. I don't know. I got it a little bit. Like I remember asking people to sign my yearbook that like I wasn't particularly close with, but then being like, oh, but I do want to know what wrote in my yearbook, you know? I don't know. I've related to, maybe it was a girl thing.
That could be. Yeah, no, I didn't want anyone. I had a few randos who were like, hey, I wish I'd gotten to know you better, and I was happy to invite that. But people I was antagonistic with or that were antagonistic to me, I did not want them anywhere
like
near
you
my
weren't
yearbook.
asking to sign your yearbook, I guess.
Well, he was not in my high school. We're also not naming people by name, so
yeah, because it's like a really unusual name.
Keep saying it. I'm gonna bleep it every time.
Buffy is there. She is down and out. She's not feeling the vibe of the last week of school.
You've noted that she was dressed very plainly.
She dressed like plain oatmeal. Just absolute church teen plain oatmeal.
Yeah, this skirt was particularly featureless.
It was, and so was the sweater, frankly, in a color that's just okay on her. Like she was just,
we're gonna do best dressed, worst dressed, and meh dressed.
And she was just couldn't have. She just was like, I want to disappear.
She just checked the box and left the house.
So Buffy was also talking about how she like just doesn't get graduation. I think this is a compensation.
Yeah, her life's not going to change very much after graduation. She's going to be in Sunnydale still doing the same shit.
So she has to be like, graduation is dumb. And it's like, I think do what you got to do, girl. Wuffy sits down. Xander joins them. And we learn that they're not going to have to split their time between graduation and killing the mayor because the mayor is the commencement speaker. And I was like, honestly, he's going to give a great commencement speech.
Yeah, before he wolfs out or whatever he's going to do.
Like he's going to give a great speech.
Going to drop some pearls of wisdom on these kids.
Yeah, he really is. Oh my God, I hope I get to talk to him.
We have attempted to make contact with Harry Grainer.
Attempted to make contact.
We've reached out to people who should be able to get in touch with him. We have not heard back. I'm not hopeful. They're going to see that 9 people look at our episodes and you're like, yeah, we're good. But
until
we've at least made
that's
the
why
effort.
we need you guys to send the episode to more people so I can talk to Harry Grainer and Chris Farley all over him. Now we go to someone's apartment whose decor I very much like.
Lester. Well, for a second I thought we were in Giles's place. It's the lighting and the colors,
The color scheme, yeah.
and the decor felt very Giles.
But no, this is a gentleman by the name of Professor Lester Worth, and Faith shows up, and no tea, no shade to Lester, but like I think he should be able to do the math that he's not Faith's type. But sure enough, when Faith is like, "Are we alone here, Lester?" He's like, "Yeah, lifelong bachelor."
We are neighbors after all. Wow, your place is so nice. Do you live here with your wife and your kids? Family?
No, I'm alone.
Really?
You really need to assume that if someone like Faith comes into your apartment asking if you're alone, she's there to kill you,
or
Lester.
rob you at the very least.
Yeah, like
or something.
she's not there
This
for
is
anything
not,
other than deviousness.
Yeah,
And
the mayor's office isn't sending around, courtesans
Yeah.
to try and win
yeah,
votes.
it's pretty important that you have that level of self-awareness, Lester. And you didn't, and now you're dead. Faith murders him. Yeah, so we know that the mayor sent her there to murder him, but not even Faith knows why. She's like, I never thought to ask. Not my problem.
And the camera lingers on a drawing of a volcano,
Mhm.
which I thought held a little long, but Ketrin pointed out that's probably because it's significant, because she remembered the episode
And it
during the
was.
watch along.
My grandmother, maybe, hey mom, if you know what I'm talking about and have any of it, if not, Eric can cut this out. I feel like my grandmother had a lot of art like this.
Mhm.
Very similar, like Asian art that I think was brought back when my grandfather was in World War II. She had a lot of
Interesting.
like Asian artifacts and things like that. And the style of that painting was like very familiar to me. Like it kind of hit me in the face.
Okay, cool.
So mom, I don't know what I'm talking about, but if you know what tell me what I'm talking about.
Are you wanting her to wait till after this airs and watches it back?
I think
or
you should just keep all of
should we
this.
reach out to her before I edit this
Just
and maybe incorporate the pieces into the video?
You know what? That's much like it's not Faith's job to know why Lester is being murdered. This part isn't my problem. This
Okay.
is your problem
Fair.
to figure
Fair.
out. So now we go to Faith's apartment. And boy, oh boy, was this adorable. Because speaking of mom, the mayor is really pulling a mom. And he's tidying up her apartment so sweetly. Like, and not even in a way that's like, I'm annoyed. Like,
yeah, it's not
he's just-
judgmental. He's
he's just like,
pitching in.
I'm here. This is my daughter, and I'm just tidying up her. It was very sweet. And you've even said you're more on my side now, where it's like, I don't think this is a
No, I think-
manipulative behavior on his part.
Do you think the mayor has spent any amount of time wondering what Edna May would think of Faith?
Yes, 100%. I don't know if he and Edna May had children. I know for a fact that they'd be dead by now, obviously. We see that he's bought her a gift, and she comes out and she's in this sweet little sundress. Now, I actually understood what you were saying, where you were like, this is so not her. Why wouldn't he buy her something that's like for her? I don't think it's the same as like our little cousin who is like so clear about what they want to present to the world. I think what he's seeing in Faith is like, I don't know that you've ever even explored what
Your softer side.
Because it's felt dangerous to you.
No, I think
and
there's
I want
something
you
to
to
that.
feel
I
like
mean, this
you're
is in
allowed
the
to
same
be
vein
soft.
of like, I wish you'd get your hair out of her face. You have such a pretty face.
Yes, it's just so sweet.
But she's so uncomfortable in these clothes. It reminded me of when she comes out in the cheerleading outfit and Bring It On,
Yeah.
Eliza, and she's trying to dance around and sell it, and it's one of just like the cringiest moments in 90s film.
It really is. Boy, oh boy, do I remember these dresses from the late.
Because it's like a
from the
shirt
90s.
cut, like it's short sleeve with a collar and
Yeah.
buttons, and then it's a dress.
I loved that they were so cute. But he just says, "Aren't you a vision?" And it was so. Harry Grainer's got to have daughters. He's got to have daughters, or maybe he's that good of an actor. God damn, Harry, come talk to me.
I mean, a living legend.
I can't remember what precedes this, but he basically is like, no father could be prouder. And Faith,
Well, it's because he's telling her that the ascension isn't just his big day; it's her big day too, and that the world will see how powerful she is. and everything she's done, and everything that she will do in the future makes him really proud.
It's so sweet.
They really are the shadow Giles and Buffy.
They really are.
Because we get some reference later to the girl that Giles raised.
Mm-hmm. So now we go to school. This is another unlikely pairing that ended up being very cute. Percy and Willow. So Pillow, if you will. Percy runs up to Willow, who's on a very silly bike.
Pee Wee Herman's bike.
It was a very silly bike. Percy runs up and he's like, I got a B-. I'm a scholar.
It's so cute.
So Oz then comes up, and you pointed out a behavior that Oz does that did not.
Yeah, this is subtle, and I don't even know if this was a choice by Seth or if he was just so in the moment. So Percy's talking to Willow, and Oz is very comfortable, very confident in his relationship. He's not threatened. He's not jealous. But he walks up and he instantly reaches out and puts his hand on Willow just for a second, just to kind of establish that connection. And I know that this is a thing that I've done before. If we're out somewhere and I see you talking to a guy, not in a possessive, not in a
Well, that's my
creepy,
question. How is it not a possessive thing?
I think it's subconscious. I think this is my person.
So it is possessive.
Not possessive. We share a connection.
Okay.
But possession would be this belongs to me.
Okay.
Whereas what I'm saying is this goes with me.
But who is it for?
I think it's for the person doing it.
Interesting.
I don't think it's performative.
Interesting.
I think it's
but it's a message to the guy?
No, it's a subconscious thing. Like, hey, this is my person. We go together.
Okay.
We are the connection. We are the pair.
Okay.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but this is definitely a thing that sorry, I talked right over your gavel there.
It's quite all right. You're held in contempt of court again. Everyone's very concerned about the ascension. Oz is trying to keep things light, he says. And Willow is like, there's got to be a spell that we can find to prevent the ascension.
I think there's a lot of real estate between I can move a pencil with my mind bullets and we're going to stop an ultimate big bad giant demon.
But she's got to try.
Yeah, sure, give it a shot.
But she, like, come on. You got to be a little delusional to get things done sometimes. Now we cut to class. Xander comes in late.
He's in pure fuck it mode. No books, no pencil.
Very nice color on you, Xander. I loved that green sweater on
But again,
you.
another sweater, the end of May.
I don't,
early June possibly.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. Well, like, I don't know what they're doing. Who is the costume? Like, come on. What is happening? Like, the costume person just like loves sweaters. And listen, me too.
They're yummy. They look good. There's a lot of texture, but it's just, yeah, it's
so warm.
We're definitely we both like this episode, and we're both being thrown by what's happening.
It's just, and it happens again in a little bit. And don't worry, I'll tell you about it. So
I don't think anyone was worried.
I really related to this teacher who is like, I don't have any work for you, but if I have to be here, you have to be here.
Yeah.
And we're going to play Hangman. I think I played Hangman the last week of school often. Like, truly. I think this was a move that teachers pulled, and I respect it.
I don't understand why, I guess, why you're still having school after the finals are finished.
I think every teacher wonders that as well. But the problem is, like, the school is not out. And as a teacher, you want to be like, go home. I don't want you in my classroom. I don't have anything to teach you. But then you can't, because then you're going to get in trouble as a teacher.
But then plan your final to be later in the
That's
week.
what all of the teachers are saying as well. That is what they're all saying. They all think it's dumb. They all think it's stupid. But here we are. So pick a letter. Anya's there. And she is sitting next to Xander. And she really wants to hang out. And she's really trying. And Xander is being kind of a dick. He's talking about how he's not really into hearing about eviscerating men. And I'm like, okay, well then move over, because I am. I'd like to hear every single solitary story that she has.
And she keeps trying different approaches and he keeps shutting it off. And
he is being really aloof. She calls him out on it, like, for being snippy, but he does apologize. And I don't actually think this was Xander, like, being his regular dickiness. I think it's like, one, we learn in just a second that, like, not everybody knows that like graduation day is the day they're all going to die because the mayor is ascending into
So
a
the
demon.
idea of making plans beyond that.
Yeah. So when she's like, do you want to do something this weekend? Like, it's an uncomfortable conversation for him. Like he's like, I'm not going to be here this weekend. But then he says the word ascension and Anya's eyes bug out. And we don't know why. We'll find out in a moment. First, we have to go see how hot Ripper looks. And it's on a scale of hot to very, it's extremely hot.
We saw him last week in really sharp suspenders, and I see that Wesley's wearing some suspenders. I think he's taking some cues. He's taking some notes.
Yeah.
They're fencing.
And it's hot. I don't know. I don't even know. What do you want me to say? It was just a super hot scene. Was I supposed to get anything else out of this scene?
Buffy sees in the paper that Faith has killed some guy. The professor's dead. She's able to suss out that it was Faith.
This was kind of an important scene.
And so she gives it to Giles, and Giles is reading the paper with one hand and kind of like half-assed fencing Wesley with the other.
Come on.
And I'm just like, Giles has come a long way, because there was a scene in the first season where he's jumping around like the Star Wars kid with a sword in the library by himself. Yeah. And it was super embarrassing, super cringe. And now he's like effortlessly fending off Wesley with one hand while he reads the fucking paper.
I think that's how responsible Giles is. That's how like on top of his shit he is that he knows that he could not let Ripper out until he knew that Giles, the Watcher, had set Buffy up for success. And I think now, one, because WWP is such a turd monger, like he's like, well, I don't want to look like you, but also like I've built some trust with Buffy,
right?
You know, and like not for nothing, but I really think most of this happened when
post band candy.
No, post the test when she turned 18. Where he was just like, this isn't fucking me. The doofus pretending to know how to, you know, like, I'm not a doofus. I'm not a fucking Watchers Council doofus. And I feel like that was the turning point for him.
He cracked the door so that Buffy could walk through it later in this episode.
Yeah. So, newspaper about Faith's murder. WWP pretends that it was his idea for Buffy to go investigate at Professor Lester Worth's apartment. And Jeffy is like, okay, that's cute. Then Zanya walks in. Xander had the great idea of being like, hey, you know how we might be able to deal with this ascension? By talking to someone who was there for the last one, which was
800 years ago.
But really smart.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I feel like most people would confronted with the information that, hey, someone witnessed this thing that you're all still trying to figure out. Seems like a pretty obvious move, but
yeah, but I'm just, waiting.
Now she's into it. She's now being Scoobied.
Yes. So we learn a little bit. The details are not super important. Basically, we learn that it's the embodiment of a demon named Lohesh. And Anya saw it when she was cursing a shepherd whose wife had been scorned by him, and everyone cuts her off. And I'm like, I want to hear it. I feel like the amount of history that Anya has encountered, one of my favorite genres is historical fiction. So it's like talking about actual historical events, but like the individual, maybe fictional stories that could have or would have happened within it.
She's 5 times as old as Angel.
Yeah.
She's seen some shit.
The history, like I would just have my little notebook and my pencil, and I would just take notes for 1,000 years about the historical information that is just living rent-free in Anya's head.
Well, I think they're so mission focused that it's made them uncurious about anything that's not directly in how do we solve this.
That bums me out. I feel I would maintain my curiosity. My curiosity is one of my favorite traits about myself, and I don't think even the Ascension could take that away from me. So basically she's like, this motherfucker decimated, which Eric just taught me.
Yeah, decimated actually means reduced by 1/10, but we use it to mean total obliteration. Yeah. That's just a funny little quirk of language.
Decimated a whole village within hours. It's a 4-winged soul killer, which does not sound pleasant. And then Anya drops this bomb on us that apparently, with all our demon hunting that we've been doing for 3 seasons, we've never seen a demon.
A diva.
Or a diva. No, we've seen some divas. We've never seen a demon. We've only seen a human who's like in a demon.
It's like a hybrid
form, a hybrid, like a vampire is a hybrid. She's like,
that's why they're all around 6 feet tall, bipedal, all that kind of stuff.
But she's like, no, this ascension is for a human to turn into a pure demon,
which are bigger.
Now we cut to Snyder giving the mayor a tour of the courtyard. Here's where you're going to give your speech, blah, blah, blah. The mayor says, call me Richard. And Snyder pops a boner that almost pokes everyone's eye out. And he's such a scared little kid. I mean, it helps that Snyder is like a quarter the height of the mayor. But this was another example of just like someone who's so concerned with authority and power and dominance. They're waiting for an opportunity to be subservient to someone who's just above them on the food chain. It's so wild to me.
Mayor says something ominous. He's like, you've done a good job of keeping order. You know, this is a weird place and you've done a good job and we owe you a debt and that debt will be paid in full. And I don't think he's getting a ribbon or a key to the city.
Back at the library, Waz comes in. Willow is like, why is Evil Girl in the mix? Referring to Anya. And when she realizes why she's there, she's like, all right, begrudgingly, that makes sense. So they're
got quite the adventurers party at this point.
Yeah, we do. We've got a whole gang. Cordy's not here.
I love Cordy. She's not. If I'm putting together an apocalypse team, I don't immediately know what her deal is.
Who saved us from the Hellhounds just last week, my friend? Cordelia Matilda Chase.
Refresh my memory. What the fuck did she have to do with it?
She's the one who was like, I think they're going for people in formal wear.
Oh no, she added one piece of the puzzle, but Buffy would have killed that. They found out that it was going to take place at the prom based on the email, so they would have gotten there anyway.
Wow.
Matilda.
Okay. I see that you hate Cordelia. Okay. That's fine.
That's the way a reasonable person
fine.
would
Whatever.
react to what
it's
I
fine.
said.
So they're talking about this, like, just trading information about the mayor, blah, blah, blah. Talking about the spiders in the box that he had to eat. And then the mayor comes in. Did I scare you?
No.
A little bit?
No. It wasn't.
Run the tape back.
The mayor comes in.
He was terrified. He pee-peed right there. You can't see it. It's off camera. I really scared him.
When he comes in, we did jump during the watch along. Roblox. Whoa!
Hey.
No. You don't be here.
Yeah. And you jumped just now as well. It was so fast, the camera didn't even catch it. But he jumped. The mayor walks in and all I wrote was, Giles, stop looking like that.
Because he's got a stern face on.
Was that the end of the scene? Was it just that?
No, the mayor comes in and has all kind of business.
What's Giles doing?
Just
looking
eyeballing him.
So yeah, he comes in. Everyone is terrified. Eric was pretty scared too, honestly. Like he was like, oh my gosh, like why doesn't he just kill these people? And I think that it's because the mayor...
I don't think he was terrified, but I was like, you said he's not... He doesn't view them as any real obstacle.
Was, like, really scared, you guys. Like,
I was just thinking from a strategic
honestly,
perspective.
I think he's gonna have nightmares tonight, and like I'm gonna have to like snuggle him when he wakes up.
Are you high? Like what is going on?
I'm not. I'm just being myself.
No, my point was just that it would seem tactically just get these people off the board. They're no longer an issue. But you don't think he thinks they've got any chance in hell of stopping him. So
not at all.
He's enjoying
not at all. And we know that he enjoys stuff.
Enjoys hearing himself talk, as Buffy points out.
Yeah, and he's very like giggly. Like he's a jolly fellow, you know? Like evil doesn't mean that you can't be jolly. The two are not mutually exclusive. You know what I mean? And so he's just like, yeah, keeping these guys in the mix, it's festive. It's a party. If I kill him, it's less fun.
And so, yeah, Buffy pops off to him.
That's one spunky little girl you've raised.
And it was genuine. I really feel like it was like one good dad congratulating another good dad. And then he says,
I'm gonna eat her.
Whoa! Now these are by design not sharp. They have like a blunt nub at the end so that
that's
you
how
don't
strong Giles is.
whack someone with it by mistake, especially when they're in the library fencing with no padding or face guards on.
Ripper's very strong.
So yeah, he shoves it right through his chest, and
it was so cool because it's like, no, Giles knew it wasn't going to kill him, but like he was protecting his daughter.
He sent a message to it, and it fucked with the mayor. Like he couldn't believe, one, the audacity, two, I think he's still getting used to being invulnerable. So it startled him, and he was like, well, if I did not see that coming.
Yeah. But then he says, I smell fear. That's smart. Anya runs out. Xander chases after her. And she's like, I'm getting out of here. I saw what this does. Like, you can't stop the ascension. The only logical thing to do is run. She bails. Cordelia then comes up and is like, what does she say? What's her saga?
Yeah,
which is such a great line. Xander says, the mayor's going to kill us all at graduation. And Cordelia goes, oh, are you going to go to fifth period? And I actually found this response so real. It's like, you can't take in that amount of trauma all the time. And sometimes you have to just
move past it. I can't get it. Let's move past it. Let's put it behind us, guys.
At home, Buffy is trying to get her mom to take Anya's advice. And so she's packing up her mom's stuff. You know, she's like, oh, is some terrible demon going to attack the school? And I was like, of course, Joyce. Of course.
Yeah, I think Joyce was a little dense here.
Yeah.
She's trying to be on board, but she's like, I wouldn't miss your graduation. If your daughter, who you know is the Slayer, who fights all kind of hobgoblins, is telling you to skedaddle, just go, okay. Like, you don't, oh, but I don't want to miss you. Well, I want to be around to help you. Like, what, you're going to offer her a thermos? Like, Joyce, you contribute a lot to Buffy's home life. You contribute nothing to a battle against the forces of malevolence.
And Buffy makes her exact point. She says, if you stay, you will get me killed because I will be concerned about protecting you and I won't be able to do my job effectively.
Now, we never see Joyce getting the fuck out. I wonder if that's in the next part. If we just see Joyce,
and I genuinely don't remember,
in a car, just like chugging along somewhere, stopping at a roadside station to get some coffee.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Joyce spinoff episode. We gotta go check on Waz. Willow has rearranged and changed rooms again.
Every time we go to Willow's room, it's a different set. It's wild.
Different room.
At first, I was like, maybe this is supposed to be Oz's room, but no, she was like, no, Amy's the right there. So
unless she's like bringing Amy around, I don't know.
That was a whole shebang.
So they're looking for a spell. And, you know,
Willow's frustrated. She can't find anything good or useful.
All she can find is how to make ferns invisible or communicate with shrimp. And I was like, both of those sound fun.
You go to war with the spells you have.
Yeah. Oz has a line. Our lives are different than other people's.
Yeah. You related to Willow in this, in that Oz seems kind of detached. Willow
you can take this scene.
Willow's really like, you're just doing like the disaffected, guy thing, and I'm freaking out over here. And he's like, would it help you if I panicked? And you said in the watch along that you really related to that is, in fact, it makes you feel crazy when I'm not as panicked as you are.
Right.
And I look at it as part of the way I take care of you is it's my duty to kind of keep one foot on the ground if I see that you're starting to spin out.
Right. I think quick couples therapy here. I think the issue is that, like, the acknowledgement that my panic is not indicative of me being crazy and you are actively trying to stay calm in order to protect me is the part that's missing, where it's like just a lack of panic, I feel crazy. But if you're like, no, I'm doing something right now, I'm actively attempting not to panic in order to support you, is maybe the piece that's missing.
Well, what you offered was I should just climb on the bed and kiss you like Oz does. So,
give it a shot.
We're going to try that next time.
Buffy is now at the professor's apartment. Angel walks up unstealthily. It was weird to see Angel trip.
He slipped in the hall. I wonder if that was an actor fuck up that
And
they just
then
kept.
just kept it.
It was like they're mopping in the hall.
Yeah, it was so interesting. That happens in one of our favorite movies, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Beverly D'Angelo slips when she opens the door and they kept it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Angel's trying to be, chivalrous. He takes the big box that she's carrying, and Buffy is like, you're crowding me. And I also related to Buffy in this, where she's just like, I don't want you around, but also like you fucked off after prom. So like either leave or don't, but also like do both of those and also do none of them.
Yeah. Angel's playing whack-a-mole.
I don't know why this was so difficult to understand. I understood exactly what Buffy was saying. Fuck off and also don't
You're
leave.
stalking me. You completely ghosted me after the prom.
Yeah.
Can't be both.
Yes, it can. It made perfect fucking sense to me. They're having a fight. He calls her a brat, which I did not appreciate. One, because I kind of feel like it like points out their age difference and I'm not comfortable with that. Also, if you ever called me a brat in like an actual fight, it would be followed with a throat punch for sure.
Well, one, I'm going to get one of those armored turtlenecks.
Armored. Do they have those?
They better. Second of all, you don't want to be called a brat. Don't act like a brat, but
don't provoke a brat. Arrowed. Angel got arrowed. He pee-peed again. He got so scared again. I'm not high. Totally. I'm just.
So we pan up to the roof. And Faith is holding the bow in the completely wrong hand.
She loves a weapon she can't wield.
This is ridiculous. They've made it her signature weapon, and she has no idea how to hold it.
Crazy. It's as if I was like, no, I think my weapon is a nunchuck. I think that's me. I've never touched one in my life, but that's gonna be my thing. But anyway, it's very scary. Angel is arrowed.
But Faith fortunately has a henchman vampire nearby just to kind of give her an opportunity to expound some dialogue.
Yeah, he says, you missed the heart, and she says, meant to. So what are you up to, Faith? At the library, Buffy pulls the arrow out, and I had to remind Eric, the only reason that she was able to pull out that arrow is because Angel is not human. If somebody is impaled with something and it's stuck in there and it's a human person, do not pull it out. That can cause even more severe bleeding.
It might be staunching off the internal blood, yeah.
Don't do that. And frankly, if it's something that's sticking out like that, you actually want to wrap it and stabilize it so it doesn't move and it doesn't create more damage. Okay? Thank you. WWP is, reading the information that Buffy got from the professor's apartment, and we learned that there was a dormant lava bed where they found a large carcass of some dinosaur type ass bitch. And Giles realizes, oh shit, that was the carcass of the last time somebody tried to ascend, like the mayor. Looks like the mayor's only invincible until he's a big ass demon.
Then that demon is very killable.
Right.
File that away.
So they're like, great, we're putting the puzzle together. Angel passes out. Uh-oh.
Is this where Giles smells the arrow?
He does smell the arrow.
First of all, it's been inside Angel. We've pulled it out, and apparently it's been wiped off because there's no blood on it, no viscera, no anything. So what does he think he's going to smell?
Listen, have you ever smelled rosemary? That is a very strong smell. Even if like it was inside me, you'd still catch a whiff of like rosemary. He's just trying to see, like,
smelling Angel's hole than smelling the arrow. I think this was unnecessary. They could have figured out they needed to do run a toxicology report on the arrow without Giles sticking it up his nose.
Well, all right. The council has toxins on file. So WWP is like, I'll call the old men. Giles is like, we need to get him back to his bed before the sun comes up because we're in a school library and
can't have a man sleeping in here.
Can't have a man sleeping in here. But somebody was in a bed already, and it was Waz, who is post-coitus. And I was like, oh my gosh, This is their first time.
And Willow is a jibber jabbering fool. Jesus Christ.
I feel different. I guess that makes sense. Do you feel different? No, already. Probably no big change for you. It was nice. Was it nice? Should this be a quiet moment?
Eric was like, shh. But Oz was so sweet and not a jerk like Eric just was.
Well, you got to understand, Oz just had an orgasm. If I'd banged this broad, I might have been feeling more charitable toward her as well.
Banged this broad, he says. Banged this broad. Where is your armored turtleneck? This was just very sweet.
Very cute. You talked about how tiny Oz
he's so teeny, but he's like such the definition of like a short king.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got, you don't need to be a big burly Jason Momoa. I mean, it helps. Listen.
I mean, yeah, let's not start ruling things out.
I'm just saying it's not a requirement. And Seth Green is proof of that. He's such a sweet little hottie. Phone rings. Willow says nothing and hangs up. That's such a TV thing. I don't get it. Why do
nobody say goodbye?
Why does nobody say goodbye? It's such a TV trope. Why does nobody say goodbye?
Well, we didn't hear the other end. She literally could have said, "Hey, we need you at school. Don't even bother to say goodbye. See you when you get here." Like that could have been the other side.
That's crazy. It takes two. Just say bye. Goodbye.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, like that's cool.
Roger, over and out.
I just don't know why that's a thing. We just need to make sure the next project we write, if somebody is on the other end of
they
a
have
phone,
to have a whole back. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up. No, you hang up first.
So let's check in on Faye Filkins. They're talking about like how the ascension is going to go.
And she's like, am I going to get to fight tomorrow? And he's like, if everything goes well, you're not going to have to.
And she says, but you'll still need me. And he says, always.
It was very sweet.
You picked up on a story that she tells that I've watched this episode a billion times and never picked up on the foreshadowing.
Yeah, so I had some vague memory where this episode was heading. I remember kind of the general trajectory of where Faith winds up. She tells a story about jumping into a quarry, and it was high up, and she was the only one of her friends brave enough to jump in there. And I was like, that's how she felt confident jumping off that building at the end.
And it was so sweet because it's also so like how you, Dad, I jumped off the highest thing. I just wasn't scared at all. I'm so brave, Dad.
And it's one of those tough monologues that definitely feels like you're in a play.
But she did a great job.
I thought she did a fantastic job. Made it sound very natural, and it didn't really like clang against my ears like pots and pans.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of those things where you're aware that a writer's doing their thing, but they do it smoothly enough that you're just enjoying the ride and you don't go, well, what? Nobody would say this. Like it was actually really well done.
So Zillaz is in the science lab and they are trying to come up with a potion for the poison, test the poison, whatever, doing all that kind of stuff. And they send Xander to the magic shop for ingredients where Willow has a tab. Anya's there lurking in the dark and she's like, listen, we could just go and you should come with me because you give me feelings towards men that are unfamiliar to me. And I like you and let's go. And she comments on how horrible this situation is. She says, it's horrible. No wonder I used to get so much work of women who were beset by feelings for men. She tries to convince him. She's like, you'll probably just get in the way anyway, so you may as well just come with me. But then he walks off and she's very upset that they didn't kiss. So
she actually goes, I hope you die. And he's like, all right, fine, fuck you, I'm leaving. And then she's like, well, we're not gonna kiss. Like, it was hilarious. She's missing a piece there. I don't know if it was intentionally like sort of spectrum coded, but like that's definitely how this character comes across. I think the in-world explanation is that she's fairly new to being a human after taking 1,000 years off of being a human to be a demon, but it reads very sort of autistic in a way that's like delightful. And her just being slightly neurodivergent creates adds a lot of color to the proceeding.
Yeah. Angel, he's in bed, kind of delirious with fever. And
real sweaty.
Buffy is sponging him off. WWP comes in and he's like, council won't help, won't give us any info.
They don't cure vampires.
They have no nuance. They have no gray area. They suck. Buffy has a really unfortunate line here where she calls Angel her lover.
I'm talking about watching my lover die.
It is not unlike your first encounter with a new lover.
That word bums me out unless it's between the words meat and pizza.
WWP is like, well, council isn't going to help. Anyway, moving on. Here are your orders. And Buffy's like, my who? My what's? And she has the epiphany. She's like, I actually don't need to take orders from you. I actually don't need to do any of this. It was very like, we talk about how the council is very patriarchal, and the patriarchy only works by conditioning women to believe that they're powerless, and the greatest fear of the patriarchy is women stepping into their power. And this is the moment where Buffy is like, wait a goddamn gosh darn second, I absolutely do not need to listen to a single solitary breath that comes out of your fucking heads.
And then Wes tries, Giles, get a hold of your girl there.
And Giles is like,
my name is Paul, and that's between y'all.
WWP says something about strategy. Buffy says, I have a strategy, and you're not in it.
Wesley says, this is mutiny.
Yeah.
She goes, I prefer to think of it as graduation. And it's interesting because Buffy has like a number of snarky, sarcastic, smartass lines, one on top of the other. And you run the risk of you do too much of that. It's like building a Jenga tower. And it's good until it's not. And then the whole thing comes crashing down. And I don't feel like we ever got that. I feel like every single one of those lines was a fucking bullseye.
She's really in the pocket, as they say. Buffy's gone to the lab. She told Giles to stay with Angel. And she's like, what do you got? And they're like, nothing that you would like. Apparently, the only cure for this poison is the fully drained blood of a Slayer. And Buffy's like, well, we're in luck because we got a spare. I'm going to go get one.
Willow's like, but if Angel drains Faith, that'll kill her. And Buffy, dark as shit, maybe the darkest we've ever seen her, is like, not if she's already dead.
Bitch.
I think Buffy's learned the lessons from season 2 where she hemmed and hawed about killing Angel, and she fucked around too long and it cost them Jenny.
Yeah.
And I think she's not gonna risk Faith shooting Oz with a fucking arrow.
Right.
We're gonna go end this right now.
Now, Xander does point out to her, he says, I don't want to lose you. And she says, you won't, or she won't kill me or something. And he's like, that's not what I'm talking about. And what he's talking about is losing whatever humanity is taken from you when you kill another person. Buffy's not concerned with that right now. I am very concerned about Faith's fighting form on the heavy bag. It was so bad. It was inappropriate and unprofessional on the side of production. So
I saw what you were seeing. I took it as she's just like unhinged. She's just like
what? And as a Slayer, as a superpower, you lose all form and you just start swinging like a toddler. That doesn't seem.
What's more egregious to you, her bow technique or this punching?
All of it. All of it. No, frankly, the punching. Because we knew that she'd never handled a bow before. I would like to assume that the Slayer has handled her own fists before and maybe punched a heavy bag once before. It was unacceptable. It's also just so easy to just be like, hey, here's what the form should be. We only need about 5 seconds of footage. Can you just hold out till then? Great. Thanks.
You've got really great form as a boxer.
I appreciate that, but that's not the point I'm trying. Yes, even I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Who was your coach?
You.
That's right.
Well, where were you for this scene?
Nobody asked.
We cut to Faith with some downtime. And she's reading a comic book, eating a Twizzler on her bed, listening to loud music, which is Eric's dream, apparently. And Buffy comes in, turns the music off. She's in a familiar outfit. And she's
not only in the outfit from this action figure that's been on our set the entire time, but she's in the same outfit Faith wore when she killed Lester.
Yeah, which was just a weird. I'm not even like opposed to it. It was just a choice.
Well, here's what's weird is that Faith says you're wearing Big Sister's clothes, which when did Faith become the Big Sister?
Right.
Because she's younger and she's always been in Buffy's shadow. But also if Buffy, you said in the watch, like she broke into Faith's apartment, grabbed her clothes, came back around and entered through the front door, Buffy would have no idea what she was wearing. So if it's just meant to be a visual cue for us that Buffy's in her killing clothes, fine. But Buffy wouldn't know that that's what Faith wore. And I'm assuming these are actually Buffy's clothes. So they could have just twinsied up at some point in a graveyard.
Yeah.
The whole thing doesn't make any sense at all. Drives me crazy.
Buffy also has a really dumb line in this that just was like jibber jabber.
As justice goes, it's not unpoetic, don't you think?
It just reminds me of like when I'm trying to memorize my lines and the syntax of something just like won't click in my head, and you just can't unremember the wrong way to say something. That's what this line sounded like. So we fight, and Buffy handcuffs Faith to herself,
like Michael Jackson's Beat It,
which I was just like, I can't even imagine how painful this would be to be handcuffed to someone that you're like throwing. Oh man, it's making my wrist hurt just thinking about it.
I'm really glad we got this fight too, because I kind of felt like we were building up towards they're gonna stand and face off, and then that's your blackout. No, we got a whole ass fight.
Giles is in the library, still just kind of trying to like map out how we're gonna handle this ascension situation.
The demon is a centerfold.
A full centerfold. And Xander says we're gonna need a bigger boat, which was a great pop culture reference.
To E.T., of course.
To E.T., right. Back at the mayor's office, he's eating those spiders, and boy, oh boy, he made them look really good.
Did not. This was awful.
He made them look great. It's like Cousin and I talk about this a lot. Like there are certain like cartoons or people that
is
are
this
really
the Land Before Time?
Yes.
You have to tell them this.
The way Spike, the dinosaur, the baby dinosaur in Land Before Time, he hatches out of an egg and he's in like a little grass nest and he eats his way out of the nest. And God, he makes that.
Some ASMR
my
for you.
mouth is like watering right now thinking about that cartoon grass that Spike the Stegosaurus eats in Land Before Time. A minion comes in and is like, we got a problem at Faith's, and he was freaked out.
He's distressed. Meanwhile, he's got another minion that's just in there kind of posed watching him eat. Just isn't moving at all, just hand on his hip, red leather jacket, just eyeballing him.
So back at the fight, Buffy brought Faith's knife with her and decides to give it back to her in the form of right in her rearranged organs. Stabs her right in the gut. And I thought this was so interesting and so character driven, character on point for Buffy to stab her and Faith to say, you did it. You killed me.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's almost proud of her.
Yeah. It also was probably a bit of a vindication in that you're not better than me.
You're not better than me. Which I used to be annoyed. Okay, so Buffy stabs Faith. Faith gets in one more hit.
Backhand sends Buffy flying.
Whenever I watched this before, I'd always be like, oh my God, Buffy, get up, grab her. But watching it again, watching it with with our analytical hats on, it makes total sense to me why she was too stunned to grab Faith in time.
Yeah, she's still thinking about, I just fucking killed someone that I used to think of as a friend.
Somebody. This is where your foreshadowing comes in, because
truck comes by, she times it, kerplunks right into the back of the truck.
Wasn't afraid to make that leap. To be continued.
What a fun episode.
So great.
We really didn't do a quick takes at the top, but yeah, this was just the greatest kind of Buffy. There's a grim undertone that haunts everything, but the plot moves, the clues are seeded and then revealed. The fighting was fantastic. Yeah. The dialogue was amazing. A few notable exceptions. Mm-hmm. Performances
Very
were great.
Few though.
This was a fantastic episode, and I cannot wait to see what happens next week. Sunnydale High Yearbook Committee meeting now in session. Who'd you have for best dressed?
Best dressed, I had Giles in his slouchy sweater.
That's fair. I gave it to Faith on her leather pants. I thought of the two of them, I liked her interpretation of the same look better. She met the brief.
There we go.
There it is. Worst dressed.
Buffy's oatmeal outfit. A nondescript camel dress, unflattering, boring blue sweater, church teen oatmeal.
I gave it, not that there's anything wrong with the dress. I think Gwen Stefani would have worn this dress with combat boots, but Faith in the pink dress, because it made her so uncomfortable. I just didn't, it was incongruent.
Okay.
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
What'd you have for best line?
Best line, the mayor's spider eating lines.
The power of these creatures suffuses my being. I can feel the changes begin.
As an actor, those are hard to do.
Sure.
And he made an interesting choice. He didn't make the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Great job, Harry.
Fantastic. Hopefully we'll get a chance to tell him in person.
Yeah.
I liked this exchange between Wesley and Buffy.
But we need a strategy.
I have a strategy. You're not in it.
This is mutiny.
I like to think of it as graduation.
I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Whichever worst line.
Buffy's brain jumble.
As justice goes, it's not unpoetic, don't you think?
It should have been, as justice goes, it's kind of poetic, don't you think?
Exactly. That was an unnecessarily convoluted way to say that.
That's why I feel like it was a brain jumble.
That she must have just memorized it wrong,
Yeah.
and here we are. I gave it to Watching My Lover Die.
Meat Lover's Pizza.
And what'd you have for best move?
Giles stabbing the mayor, even though he knew it wasn't going to work. He was just defending his daughter.
It's pretty great. I also gave it to Giles, also with the rapier in the library, fencing while reading the paper.
Yeah, it was hot.
And lastly, who'd you have for most likely?
Most likely to start charging a consulting fee, Anya.
Right?
Yeah.
Getting all this wisdom for free.
Yeah.
I had most likely to receive a book on pillow talk etiquette for Hanukkah, Willow.
No. Yeah, and it's just blank.
It's just
The
called
book.
Say Less.
Yeah, the book is just blank pages.
Well, that was it. All right. We are one episode away from the end of the season. As of the recording of this, I'm still on the fence about whether we're going to take a break after the season, maybe just a week or two. So we won't know. Next week will be the finale, and then we'll just have to see how things go from there. We'll try and have it.
Eric needs a break. I'm team break. Eric needs a break.
We'll try and decide before we record the next one. So if we do take a break, we can announce it then.
And by break, I don't mean, we don't do an episode and you spend time editing a best of compilation. That's not a break.
No, a break would be no episode. I don't know. I can see the merits of both. One, I want to keep up the consistency. I know there are people who really look forward to this, so I don't want to let them down. But I am also just
burnt out,
exhausted.
Yeah.
So
he's going to take a break, everybody.
We shall see.
It'll be fine. We'll be back. He needs a break.
All right. Well, we'll announce something official next time. In the meantime, like I said, please give this a like. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Tell us your thoughts on best dressed, worst dressed, best line, worst line, best move, and I almost said social
Most
media.
likely.
That's not what it is. It's called Most Likely. Yeah. And then share this with a friend. Check out our Patreon. And while you're checking stuff out, check out our other show, Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe co-starring her and the hilarious Kim Burns. I edit and produce that show. Comes out every Wednesday, wherever you listen to podcasts. On social media, he's going to knock that light over.
Uh-oh.
At KK Sam Podcast. This show's on social media at Major Slayage Pod. That's all we got. We'll see you next week. Until then,
Catch you later.